Don't mind me, I'm just gonna listen to your conversation.
No, remember
act natural. Act natural, guys, act natural. Be cool.
No, really, remember the
Tell me more about what you were saying. Pretend I'm not even here.
I'm not even here.
Do you remember the Sally at the finals, the guy that was from South Wisconsin walking? And like he should.
They're giving away games, half price for CrossFit. You go get on. How you doing? Alright, so what you guys just saw was take from Friday's training. Generally each day or each video I'll try to kind of vary what you guys end up seeing, but today we're just going to break down what you ended up seeing, and we're going to kind of keep it in generalities. We're not going to get too specific today. We're going to keep it just very simple, and along the way you might see me get particular or very specific in what we're saying or what we're doing. First part of today's work was clean and jerk. Generally going to work from today, we're working from a technique oriented weight up to an intense weight. So we could make sure to work a little on form as we start, and then obviously try to challenge myself and see where I get to. We were working a power clean, above the knee hang squat clean, and split jerk. Generally if you're an Olympic weightlifting snob, or even like myself, we don't really go by that word of squat clean, but in CrossFit, we have to specify exactly what we want to see. So particularly today, I needed to catch the clean above parallel, and my second pull, which was the above the knee hang squat clean, not only did I have to start above the knee, but I had to catch it in a full depth squat, a full clean, squat clean, full clean, whatever you want to call it. And then it was mandatory that I had to do a split jerk. I couldn't do a push jerk, which was good because I've been trying to focus on my split jerk. Today I had to do it every 90 seconds. It's not to say that that is shortened rest or too short of rest, but it is shortened relative to if I was trying to go to a max. If I was trying to build to a max, I would definitely take a little bit more rest. So as these sets went on, I did get just a little tired. So the mission today on where I wanted to start was I had to start at 185 pounds, which was about 55% of my max clean and jerk. And I ended somewhere, so I ended at 305 for an attempt, but I ended up working up to about 90% of my 1RM, which isn't bad for today's work. I definitely felt pretty well fed since yesterday was Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving if I haven't spoke to you. And the energy was absolutely bumping today since it was Black Friday. A lot of people were off of work. I walked in, the music was going. We had at least 7, 8, 9, 10 people in there. Great energy, so I was a little bit tight going into the workout, but the energy kind of kept me going, and I was able to have a pretty awesome workout. But we'll take a look at the clean now. So let's break this down here, just popping on my knee sleeves. Generally like to wear knee sleeves just because they make my knees feel nice and cozy, but in no way, shape, or form does this cure knee problems, and I don't really try to rely on my knee sleeves for that either. So this is 135, just warming up. going to be a power clean and a full clean, or as CrossFitters like to call it, full squat clean, split jerk. This is 185. I generally have an early arm bend, so I'm just watching out for that. But today, really just looking to focus on a good long split. It's kind of been my weakest link. A little early there on the arm bend. Good clean, just kicked out that left foot a little too much. And good split. So we're going to jump up to 245 here. Solid power clean. Bad on the clean either. And split was good, just a little forward if you see me stutter. This is 275. Camera's moving around a little bit. Not a bad clean. Okay, on the split. 285 we're going for. Little forward on the pull, and then I kicked out that left foot. Not a bad clean. And I didn't get as low as I wanted in that 285 split. Here's 295. Remember, that power took a lot out of me. Here's the full clean. And a little forward on that clean. I should have pulled back more. And yeah, sloppy on the jerk. Everything went wrong. This was 305. This was a full squat here, so that's already a dead set. Go for my clean, and I bitch out. Goodbye.
Oh, don't do this to me.
The next part is snatch work. So I had to do a pause snatch. I had to pause below the knee for 2 seconds. After the snatch, I had to complete one overhead squat. That was done on the minute, every minute. I worked with about 70% of my max, which is kind of a little bit more of a technique-oriented weight, but also a little heavier, that if I'm doing it with shortened rest, maybe I should, I have to work a little bit harder than if I rested longer. So it was 185 and 205. The pause today, I was kind of just making sure my arms were nice and long, and the overhead squat, it was kind of just maybe to get an additional squat in there every minute to get a little bit of volume rather than just snatching it once. But we'll have a look at this one. So here's first set at 185. Concentrating on keeping my hamstrings loaded on the pause and trying not to get too much of an early arm bend at the hip. So here we'll see about the early arm bend. Hips stay loaded, back in the heels, and not bad. Left foot went out and caught that a little forward. You see that heel kicking up a little, but not bad. This is my last set of 185, so my 5th set here. Nice and upright torso, a little forward on the catch here. I think it's just because my shoulders were a little tightened today, and maybe even my hips. One of my sets at 205 here. Walking up, arms nice and long, loaded in the hip, upright torso, and shoulders were a little forward. That's why I stepped forward for the overhead squat, but not a bad pull.
You know you talk a lot with your hands?
Yeah, I do. That's how I describe myself. I describe everything with my hands.
You know when you talk to me, you don't have to look at the camera?
So for the next and last part that you guys saw in training, it's a gymnastic-oriented EMOM'n, which means every minute on the minute, which we went over. This one was only for 9 minutes. It had 3 different movements. I had to do one movement on the first, another movement on the second, and then the last movement on the third, and I just kind of kept repeating that for the 3 total sets. The first one was a legless rope climb to 15 feet. So in CrossFit, we'll make these standards, or we'll make these movements that we have to apply. Generally, we do have rope climbs that we can use our feet, but this one happened to be legless, which is usually a little harder. It's just more isolated, usually like a local fatigue under your bicep and your back. And today I had to wear a 20-pound weight vest, so it made it a little bit harder as well. It's only one climb to 15 feet, but wasn't too bad. My next movement was a ring muscle up. Wearing that weight vest, it definitely makes it a little bit harder on your grip and on your ring dip as well. And then lastly, it was 10 strict handstand push-ups. We can kip with handstand push-ups, but the standard for today was that I had to actually just isolate the deltoids or isolate the shoulders, and I was not allowed to kip, so it definitely made it a little bit more challenging. So we'll take a look at that next. Generally with legless rope climbs, you want to concentrate on your hands being pretty close together. Unless you're really strong, then you can do long strides. I always try to keep my legs kicking a little bit too, and then you're clear to do whatever you want when you come down. Usually just show a little control. ring muscle ups. I mean, with this 20-pound weight vest, you really got to concentrate on using your hips here and not doing that early pull with your bicep, or not letting your arms fully extend in the bottom, because you'll have a very hard time getting up there if you're not emphasizing using your hips. This wasn't a bad set. The dip wasn't bad too. Handstand push-ups, strict handstand push-ups. These are always a little tough for most people. My shoulders are generally strong, so this wasn't too bad, but it was giving me some nice challenging efforts.
Kyle, I'm not looking good right now.
Do you solemnly swear that I can get this footage out
If you do it at home.
before 8 p.m.
You do it at
on
home.
Sunday night? You don't have to look at me. You got to look at the camera,
You're such a bitch.
because the viewers want to know.
That you do it at home.
Stop looking at me. Look
Because
at
I
the
don't know
camera.
what to look at, Kyle.
Alright, so that was it on today's training, or at least the footage that I had for you. There was some other stuff that I ended up having on that day, some skill work, some core work, but it might have been a little boring for you to watch, and I didn't have somebody to grab the camera. But if you guys ever have any questions about why we do what we do, why I do what I do, feel free to email me, krtiringer@gmail.com or kyle@portcrossfit.com, and I'll be happy to answer. You could also just drop a line right underneath the video and I'll get back to you. But thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.